Hey guys, it's Cloudy. How are you all? Today we're going to be talking about my final thoughts and the series ending for Midnight Photo Studio. Midnight Photo Studio is a K-drama that started airing in January and recently finished. It has 16 episodes and stars Juwon and Kwon Nara. It takes place in the modern city of Seoul, where there is a magical camera that was brought up from the netherworld many years ago, and one family has been cursed to take care of this camera and photograph portraits of the dead. This camera has a lot of mystery and intrigue behind it, so we see the main characters get entangled with the powers of the camera, the stories that ghosts bring into the photo studio, and side characters also get roped into the little conflicts as well. Midnight Photo Studio is a series that I think deserves more than 16 episodes. With every fantasy supernatural drama, the first couple episodes always follow ghost stories. Usually the main characters are helping the ghosts fulfill their final wishes or solve some conflict that was left unresolved in their life. For the Midnight Photo Studio, I feel like we didn't get as many ghost stories as I wanted to see. When I think of ghost-busting stories or ghost helping stories such as Hotel de Luna, I felt like those mysteries regarding the hotel guests were more interesting than the stories related to the photo studio's visitors. And there's a huge overarching mystery related to Seo Ki-ju and Han Bom, because Seo Ki-ju and all of his ancestors have been cursed to die before the age of 36, and Han Bom has some sort of camera curse that is embedded on her wrist. So as they encounter more and more ghosts together, they slowly start to get closer and eventually fall in love. Now that we've had a brief rundown of the series, I want to talk about some of the things that I think worked in the series and what didn't work. I especially thought the story with Han Bom's grandmother was very touching. Second is, I think the camera is a very interesting artifact and a sort of wild card when it comes to the show. So I was very intrigued by the camera and what it meant for the world building or the magic lore in this series. However, my list for things that didn't work is way longer for things that did work. First off is, I did not like the main couple's chemistry. The two side characters, Woo Dae-ri, who is a ghost office worker, and also the police officer, Mr. Peck, who helped the ghost-busting cases a lot, their stories were pretty separated from the main couple. I thought that the main couple or the main group of friends would take turns helping these two side characters resolve their own lives or past lives, but they mostly just resolved it on their own on the side, which made me feel like the side plots and the main plot were a little bit disjointed. For me, I really didn't like the way that the ghosts were portrayed. I don't know if it was the makeup or the editing or the special effects in the editing process, but I felt like a lot of the ghosts looked like they had Halloween outfits on, and I didn't really see that much like CGI or special effects to make me feel like the ghosts had supernatural powers. I just felt like these ghosts were like humans dressed up in ghost makeup harassing other humans, so that took me out of the immersive experience a little bit. I also feel like towards the end of the series there were a lot of small plot holes that were resolved as a result of the small miracles or the magic that the camera brought us, but we weren't able to dive into the origins of the camera or any other special effects related to the camera. It seems that the camera is kind of temperamental and does whatever it wants, but there isn't really a rationale as to why that happens. It's sort of chalked up to the magic and mystery aspect related to the camera. I also feel like because the Saw family has been taking care of the camera for so many generations, you would think that there are more records and information related to the camera. Are you telling me that this camera has been keeping these people alive for 35 years and no one's tried to take it apart, no one's tried to examine it, write notes about it, take more records on it when it's such a huge family curse that's going to affect all the generations? So I feel like in that aspect, the world building fell a bit short. And also when it comes to the Angel of Death or like the underworld, other Grim Reapers, why is there no other person that's made a contract with the camera or a contract with the Angel of Death? I wanted to see maybe someone else who's contracted to the Angel of Death, like another helper that exists in the human world, or maybe a shop of interesting other artifacts, or just supernatural individuals who are tied to the world or the lore of the underworld. When I watched Goblin Dokkaebi with Gongyu and Kim Go-eun, I felt like the world was more expansive because there was more than one character that was linked to the world of life and death. Like, you could see very clearly supernatural entities existed side by side with humans. But for the camera, because it's such a restricted artifact. It doesn't seem like anyone else knows about it, and it doesn't seem that any other human in the history of the world has ever interacted with the Angel of Death to make a contract or other agreement. And I feel like if there were more side characters that were directly or indirectly related to the Netherworld and the camera, that would have given me a more immersive world building experience. So I hope you can see what I mean when I say I want a lot more deeper fantasy elements when it comes to the Midnight Photo Studio. In general, I would say that the Midnight Photo Studio gets a 3 or 3.5 out of 5 stars for me. It doesn't have much rewatch value in general, but it is an entertaining show to fantasy lovers in the K-drama world. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my final thoughts on the Midnight Photo Studio. I apologize if you love the show, but these are just my thoughts, and I realized I had a lot of critiques about the show. And if you're looking for more K-drama videos from me, don't forget to subscribe for more, and I will talk to you guys in my next video very soon. Bye!